Hey, it's Bitty Penny. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the Sheetload for November 2025. And this month, there's a special guest with a special gift for all of you. You'll find out more in the description box below, but this is Sassy's LLC, and that's Sarah Liz, and she is a delight. I met her in person. I can say it. She's wonderful. Anyways, she does these free card making kits every month. So definitely go down in the description box, follow her, and find out more. This is a collaboration hop, and the creative team will have tons of inspiration for you. It's also special this month because Call Me Crafty Owl is releasing her pattern papers. So you're definitely going to want to follow along and find out more. My printer's broken, so I've got to do analog. And because this sheet load made 4 cards, I decided to go all in. For one, I tried to give a nod to Alicia, even though I couldn't use her papers. I can't wait to use her papers. But I used a color cube. I have them. I absolutely never use them, but she does. And so I used that in honor of her. And I pulled out the small die of the month. And Desiree's new stamp release, which comes out today. It'll be on pre-order until her live this morning, but it's incredible. And I'm going to use both of these stamp sets, one for the sentiment and one for the pattern. And I'm going to show you how these Zentangle inspired stamps can be subtle. And of course, I'm embossing my card base. These are 5x7s. And the whole thing is embossed with snowflakes. And then I'm also going to cut down a panel. I'm trying to remember, you could probably see it there, but I think it's 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, or it's 6.5 by 4.5, one or the other. But I'm just cutting down myself a panel, and I can get 2 panels per sheet of cardstock, and I'm going to emboss those with the same embossing folder. Then I just really went to town die cutting tons of little pieces, as well as stamping out Desiree's stamp on some 5x7 cutoffs. So I have all these scraps that I get when I make my 5x7 card bases, and I love to use them for sentiments or things like this. Some of the pieces are 1.5 inches wide, and some are 1 inch wide. So they're really handy scraps. But I'm just taking those and using Iced Out, I believe is the Stellar ink color, and I'm stamping up this same pattern over and over. So I'm going to use this as my background pattern strips for this sketch. I think the sketch calls for 5 strips, and I do wish that I had 5 strips, but these cards took 4 hours to make. Now I remember why I don't make cards like this, to be honest. Not to say that I don't make long cards, because I do, but not like this. But I did it in the most, time effective way that I could. So I wanted to make these little snow banks. So all I did was I took a piece of paper, cut it kind of wonky, and then die cut it, and then cut off the edges here, because everybody needed a little bit of snow to sit in. The snowman, the child. I mean, these are cute. They are cute. Were they worth 4 hours of my time? Sadly, I don't think so. But you have to decide for yourself what your time is worth and what the projects are worth that much of your time. For me, it's a one and done for me. Will I ever use this die set again? Yeah, I'm sure I will, but I wouldn't sit down to make a whole bunch. Now, here's the thing. Because this sheet load only made 4 cards, I was like, I can go heavy on die cutting and all of that because we're not making 8 or 12 like we normally would. But I am a pattern paper girly 100%. I am a printables girly. So to say that my printer's broken and I couldn't big up Sarah's kit and Crafty Owl's paper just strikes at the heart a little bit. Okay, so here's what I did do. I went through all my Stellar inks to find ones that fit in this color palette, and by some sort of miracle, because I only have the first 2 sets that he's just released, it worked. I had them all. I used my re-inkers. I used some empty watercolor half pans and dropped them in there. Then I lined them up in order of my color card, because with re-inkers, it's really hard to tell your colors. It's just real difficult because they're so saturated and so dark. It's not like having the ink pads. Then I referenced the back here. And what I decided to do, because I'm only putting 1 kid on each card, I colored their outfits the same. So their scarves are all the same color on all 4 kids. Their boots, their jackets, their pants, their hats. I just kept it simple. At this point, I was really happy that I had a limited palette. So here's a bonus here. If you are the kind of person you love die cutting all these fussy little things and putting them together, I mean, they are fun. They're like a puzzle, right? If that is your thing, I can see why people are so drawn to the color cubes, because it helps narrow down your palette. So suddenly I have like 100 pieces in front of me, and it just helped me really dial it all in. Where if I just pulled out my watercolor palette that also has 24 to 48 colors in it, it could have gotten real wonky real fast. Plus, I think working within a limited palette does make for a more modern looking card and a more, just say modern looking card. So I am glad I used the color card. I'm glad that Spellbinders had an example on the back. I didn't have to go on their website. I really don't like using technology when I'm making cards because I get sidetracked real easily. And so I love when companies include an example for die cuts and assembly on the packaging. So here we are. We're going to assemble one of these little scenes just real quick together. So here's my little snowbank that I created. And then I was really trying to keep it simple. Honestly, I had been sick all week, and I had planned on, because I was like, I know these cards are going to take a long time. I'll just use my mornings when I'm not live to work on these cards while I was sick. So I had to do all this in one day. I think that's another reason I was really kind of perturbed by the time that it took me. But if you stretched it out, over time, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And like I said, I make cards that take an hour all the time. But I guess I just consider those more fun. They're mixed media. I don't know. So here, though, is this adorable little scene. And I do really love this die set. So there's that. And let's assemble a whole card together. Definitely check out what the creative team has done this month. I know Sarah will have a video too. She's our guest this month, which is really fun. And I can't wait to hop along and see what everyone's done. You've got to check out her free card kits and Call Me Crafty Owl's new patterned paper that she's doing. And I like that these 2 women, collaborated and joined forces this month. I know they sat next to each other at Paper Ganza, so I think the friendship was forged. And actually, they live close to one another, but I know how that is. I live by Letty at Party Planner Papery, and I don't think I've seen her for like a year. We just get so busy in our lives, don't we? But make time for your crafty friends, as I talk to myself. about doing the same thing. Now, here's where I wish I had had 5 strips. This is okay. It's not bad, but I think it would just be better if it was all scrunched up a little closer and I had another strip. But I don't. I popped these up with foam tape and then off camera, because you know me, sometimes I can't stop. I trimmed off the edges and I added some handmade tags to include that holly jolly sentiment. And I really feel like that finished off the card for me. It was feeling a little plain. Look how good the colors turned out. I can't believe it. It's a miracle. But yeah, so Color Cube was for the win today. It really did help me. And I love the texture. I love my, and embossed card bases these days. I'm definitely on that kick. And I opted not to add any thread in my tag, but you could. So I always put an insert on the inside so people don't have to try to write on bumpy paper. These are the 2 scenes that I came up with. I hope you enjoyed this video and my story time of trying to make cards like this. I can't wait to see what everyone else has made. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you make a sheet load this month and share it. Go check out Desiree's new stamp sets. I know you're going to be seeing lots of examples with them. They're just amazing. And check out Call Me Crafty Al and Sarah Liz at Sassy's LLC. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.